Well, first of all, I'd like to say I think this is a great game for our university, and we're happy that UMass Amherst has agreed to play us. It's a great experience for our kids. I think it's good for the university system, and I appreciate them playing this game. It wasn't our best game, not to discredit UMass at all. They did plenty of good things, which I can talk about in a second. For us, we really need to take care of the basketball. You see the size disadvantage that we deal with, and that's the case with many of our games. Typically, we're very efficient with the ball and shoot a high percentage. We didn't do that tonight. We turned it over, I think, 17 or 18 times in the first half. I thought that changed the whole rhythm of the game and gave them a lot of confidence, and took some confidence away from our guys, and that was tough to get back. I would credit their guard there, their freshman guard. He was very disruptive. I remember a guy we played against when I coached at Boston College. He was at Providence, a kid named John Linehan, and I haven't seen a small, strong guard disrupt a game since back then. And it wasn't just one of our players. You know, he switched on to just about every guy. I thought he changed the nature of the game, stole our guys' confidence a little bit, and like I said, that was tough to get back.
Pat, at times it looked like your guys had been flustered enough by some of the pressure that they were giving you, that even at times when the pressure wasn't there, they were almost hunting for, expecting it to be there. Did it affect you even more than just when it happened?
Well, I agree. It's interesting you notice that, because when you're practicing with the team every day and they start to do things differently, it becomes really apparent. And that's what I think they did. That's how disruptive that pressure can be. I think that they started to make it out to be more than it was. It's a hell of a weapon to have on defense, for UMass.
Was Holloway? I mean, Holloway. Few teams have a body they can put on him, but was that particularly difficult for your inside guy?
Yeah, and I think for us it was more just kind of emotionally. We're like, hey, what can we do against this guy? He's so much bigger than us. I don't think that was as impactful to the first half as us not taking care of the basketball, even though they did go into him a bunch and he had 15 points. He was only 8 for 13 from the free throw line, so not totally efficient. There's not much we could have done about some of those things. He's much bigger than our guys. We can control, taking care of the basketball more. So that was our focus at halftime, and I was hoping that we'd improve that in the second half.
I was going to say that, Pat. When you see the box score and you see that you guys rebounded with them, it was 40-40. You held them to 42% shooting. Is it at all a positive that that turnover is something you can control, and that's something that you guys can kind of take a look in the mirror and control that going forward?
Yeah, of course, and we know how important that is for us as a team, for us to have success. And it doesn't always come for us from one person. We feel like we have 4 or 5 different guys to handle the ball, and that's how we generally do it. We keep the floor spaced, and we share who's handling the ball. So it wasn't one guy. Like I said, I thought he disrupted all of our guards' confidence over the course of the game. And it's a fragile game, right? If it goes one way, then they start to get a little more confidence. And that's one thing I saw over the course of the game is I saw their young kids start to gain confidence and started to play a little differently and make shots and make plays better, and that's what happens. I think they've got some really good freshmen.
Did you learn anything about your freshmen today? Well, they played some decent minutes, obviously. How'd you sense that they played today?
Yeah, good in spots. I thought Stefan started. I thought he was solid. I thought Cam came off the bench, the big kid. A couple of his shots went in and out, but I didn't think he played with any fear. Renardo's going to be a really good player for us, but that kid made it hard for him to feel that way because he's a 6'4" guard who's straight up and down, and that kid just gets in him. So that was hard on him tonight, but he'll learn from it and get better, and that's all part of being a freshman.
Was there kind of a gamble to keeping the guys in there with 2 fouls in the first half? Is that kind of a tough thing to balance, whether to do it or whether to pull them out?
Yeah, I think it is, but I think it's sometimes overrated when if a guy has 2 fouls with 1 minute left in the first half, you take him out, but you'll play him with, you might not do that in a situation 1 minute into the second half. He picks up his third, you don't take him out. I mean, sometimes I don't know that there's a difference. Also, I feel like you have to read the flow of the game, and you can be in jeopardy of losing it too much. If a kid's hot, even though he's in foul trouble. When you're in this situation, sometimes you've got to go with it, especially if he's one of your proven players and you don't have somebody behind him that can do the things he can. So I approach that from a game-by-game basis. Sometimes I sub a kid when he has 2 fouls. Sometimes I leave him in.
Any other questions? Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.